Welcome to Wrong Time Watch. My name is Kevin, and today we're looking at the Glycine Combat Sub GL0249. So my original intention with this watch was to size the bracelet and wear it for a week and see how I liked it on bracelet. But I've actually since sold this watch, so I'm not going to size it. I'm going to leave this minty fresh and nice and neat for the next owner. So since I am selling it, I figured I should at least do a little video review of it here. So Glycine Combat Sub is among my favorite watches. It's a great value watch. The price for this, when I checked the other day online, eBay, for example, is $330. So for $330, you get a Swiss-made watch on bracelet. Also, you can get them on rubber strap and some canvas strap combination deal, also a NATO strap. But I think on the bracelet is probably the best value because you can obviously buy a rubber strap or NATO strap easier to fit this watch than a bracelet. This has the flat area between the lugs here, as opposed to say like Seiko SKX where the case is curved. So I suppose you could buy a straight end link bracelet to put on here, but it still wouldn't fit the case as well as this end link does. So speaking of this end link, it's a little different from other bracelets that I've seen. The lugs actually protrude out farther than the end link does, which I don't think will be an issue on wrist. It just looks a little different from what I'm used to. Say for example, again, the Seiko SKX, the end link is flush with the lugs. Or another thing that will happen is this issue kind of bothers me or bugs me because I have a small wrist. But if you have a male link in the center link, a fixed male link that protrudes out further beyond the lugs, that essentially extends the lug to lug measurement. So that is one good thing about this Glycine Combat Sub on bracelet, is that it has the female end link, so it just bends down right from there. So just like all other Glycine Combat Subs, well, at least the 42mm version, this has 50mm lugs and then 42mm diameter. And the beauty of the Glycine Combat Sub is that it is very thin for a 200-meter dive watch. And this is an actual dive watch. It has the hash marks on here. Actually, no, I take that back. It's not an actual dive watch. This is an actual dive watch. It has every minute on the bezel. So this is rated to a diver's 200-meter. This is not actually a dive watch. So anyway, aluminum bezel insert, 60-click bezel. Bezel is pretty thin. Actually, I just noticed I'm used to the ones on bracelet with, the ones on rubber strap. You can purchase, you can get a better grip on this bezel, but with the bracelet coming up here, you have a little less to grip on. So it's a very thin bezel, so you don't have as much to grip. But I doubt, well, I don't know how many people actually dive with this watch. Let me just say that. So the bezel action feels good. A little bit of play on the bezel there, but nothing too crazy. So it has a Sellita SW200. So I'll hand wind in this position. Pull it out another position. It should be the date position. So the date wheel is spinning around there. In the last position, all the way out, is hacking. And then also your time set. My so-called favorite color is orange, so I like this watch, but can't keep them all, so I'm selling this one. I think this will make a great everyday watch. It has the sapphire crystal. Like I said, it's nice and thin, so it'll be easy to wear. Now this is a highly polished watch. There's a little bit of brushing on the top. The crown diameter is 7.5. and that is a signed crown. This version does not have the drilled lugs. Some of them do, some of them don't. This is a new version after the Invicta buyout, takeover, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, it's a real cool watch. Let me get this on wrist. It'll be a little loose on wrist, but I think you can get the idea. It does have a milled clasp. This portion is stamped, but you do get 4 micro adjusts. It's a signed bracelet as well, with the latest Glycine logo. It's all 316L stainless steel. It does have an engraved case back as well. A little harder to see with the bracelet on there. Actually, I still have the protective coating on the back there, but anyway, let's get this on wrist. I think I covered everything. You'll see loom later on. The indices are loomed, as well as the Arabics. Some of the Arabics with this style are not loomed, but I know this one is. So, and it's got a box and date window there. I think it's a great looking watch. I mean, it's hard to beat the value of these for, again, $330. Well, it's more than that on eBay now because they're charging you for taxes, but I guess you're supposed to be paying those anyway. So here it is on wrist. Again, I have a 6.5-inch wrist, 52 millimeter wristband, and this guy here is, I mean, it's almost taking up my whole wrist. Doesn't look too bad. Let me zoom out. I'll compare it to that SKX in a moment. So, you know, let me know what you guys think. Do you think it's too big, or we just roll with it? I had a, actually, it's out on loan right now, but I have a GL093 that I wore for a week and a half on a NATO strap. These things were just great on a NATO strap. I think it's because of the way the lugs are turned down, but it just looks great and wears great on a NATO strap. I think it would wear good on this bracelet as well. So let me compare it to the SKX, and then we'll do a loom shot. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I have many more videos in the works. Also, like the video if you liked it, and let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment. If you haven't experienced a Glycine Combat Sub, I think it's well worth it to pick one up. Buy one used, buy one new. I mean, it's like I said, it's hard to beat for the value. So anyway, here it is next to the Seiko SKX. This is also 42 millimeter diameter. Lug to lug on this, I believe, is 48. So this has a flat sapphire, and this one I upgraded to I think it's a single, I know it's a dome crystal, but I believe it's single dome. I scratched up the hard licks a number of years ago. So, oh yeah, and the bezel. So you can see how much thicker this bezel is. Much easier to grab on and turn. But this one's kind of messed up. So anyway, let's turn off the lights and we can do the loom shot. Alright, since I still have the protective plastic on this Glycine Combat Sub, it's not going to lay down on the table, so I will try and hold these by hand. So the camera is definitely doing favors to the Combat Sub. It's not quite this bright by eye, but the loom is pretty decent. Not as bright as the SKX 009, but it's like I said, it's pretty decent. I can't really complain about that. Sorry about the loom pit being off on the SKX. So you have the indices, the hands, and the Arabics are all loomed. The hands are definitely brighter than the rest of the watch, although that loom pip is pretty bright as well. So anyway, that'll do it for now. As always, thank you for watching, and catch you on the next video.